And now, our feature presentation.
I like it spooky.
Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the I Like It Spooky Horror Podcast. I'm Brian.
I am Clint, and like last episode, I said it's August. Happy Halloween. The kids are going back to school. Pumpkin Delight's back. Sam Adams Oktoberfest is back. It is the most wonderful time of the year. I just wish the weather would catch up.
Angry Orchard has a Friday the 13th themed drink.
I saw Fanta's coming out with a Chucky fruit punch drink.
Yeah, they're starting to go through the whole horror community and make drinks for everybody. Yeah, Finley's back in school. She's been back for a week as of this recording. And we have a pumpkin growing in our front yard next to our bushes. So it's definitely time for spooky season to get started. But it's also 95 degrees.
Yeah, the weather needs to catch up. You know, all this stuff that's back, there's something else that's back, but we got to get to the news so I can tell you about it.
So I got two things I want to talk about on the news, and the first one is some short films that have popped up over the last couple weeks. The first one, of course, is the Friday the 13th. Is that what it's called? I've watched the damn thing 3 times.
Vengeance is a fan film. It's called, oh shit, I forget. I haven't seen it yet. Is it out so you can watch it? No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't? Sweet Revenge. I believe it's on the Bloody Disgusting page, but you can also watch it on Angry Orchard's page because they're sponsoring it and there's a lot of apples in the movie. There's a drink, of course, a Friday 13th themed drink in a pack that I think there's 4 maybe of each kind or 3 of each kind. So you get a couple of the Friday 13th Jason, whatever the hell flavor it is, probably blood red or some shit. That one's fun. And then the other one is a Leprechaun short.
A short.
A fan film, I believe. I've watched it too. It's got the guy that was in the first one that was also in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Mark Holton played Ozzy Jones in the original. That's Chubbs from Teen Wolf.
And it's called Leprechaun Revenge. I mean, you can find it on Fuzz on the Lens on their YouTube page. So it's got a leprechaun and it's got somebody from the original film that survived the first film. Does he survive this one? I don't know. You'll have to go check it out on their YouTube page. I watched both. I enjoyed both. They're fun if you don't have an hour and a half or 2 hours in your day to watch a full film and you want some horror to go throw them on. They both do a service to the original series. I didn't hate the Friday 13th. I quite enjoyed. I was actually pleasantly surprised on how much I enjoyed it and how much I wanted some fucking apples after I watched it.
Saw it was coming out and I forgot about it and just haven't seen it yet, so I'll check it out.
And then my other news is from Bloody Disgusting. The Turkish Coffee Table. Can Everall's remake of The Coffee Table gets a title and a poster? So Can will come up later in this podcast episode because we're covering a film that was his debut. And I don't know if you saw The Coffee Table. A lot of people, it was on Shudder. A lot of people really enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. I mean, it didn't do anything for me.
You're not much of a supernatural kind of film guy, though. I thought it was great.
This guy's remaking it as a Turkish film. I don't know. I mean, it's got a picture of a horse, wooden horse covered in blood with a baby's hand touching the bottom. I don't know what they're going to do to remake it or make it different. It's a Turkish film, and there's not a lot of Turkish horror, and what I saw Turkish horror-wise was kind of supernatural. I don't know that I'd enjoy this one either.
Ooh, that's foreshadowing about what you thought about Baskin.
What do you got for news?
Well, you know, just when we opened the show, I said some things that are back. So I've got some Toxic Avenger news. That's right. Don't forget the remake of The Toxic Avenger comes out August 29th. Select theaters across the nation. No, nobody paid me to say that. I just want people to go see it. So Bloody Disgusting reported that MoviePhone line is reconnected for the first time in 10 years for The Toxic Avenger. MoviePhone is celebrating its 35th anniversary, and the announcement has been made that Bloody Disgusting is joining forces with the brand to unleash a brand new MoviePhone upon an unsuspecting world, Peter Dinklage's Toxic Avenger. Cineverse and Bloody Disgusting have launched a new campaign with Moviefone, the iconic entertainment brand that is now the ultimate destination for fans to discover movies and series, curating content across multiple platforms that allows you to call the Toxic Avenger. So as of right now, you can call Moviefone for the first time since it was disconnected. Now it says 11 years ago, but dialing 1-802-377-film won't call up the legendary voice that made hello and welcome to Moviefone, the catchphrase that defined moviegoers in the 90s. Instead, fans will hear the voice of Peter Dinklage as the character from the Toxic Avenger, which, comes out again August 29th. And it says during the phone call, you will be met with Toxie reading showtimes, reenacting the official trailer, and even offering tips on how to snag tickets, on sale now at moviefone.com.
I'm definitely going to see the Toxic Avenger.
Oh, for sure.
I think it's playing at the Capitol in Burlington, Iowa. Is the only place I've seen announce showtimes. And I watched Jimmy and Stags last night, which is a new film from Joe Begos, I think is how you say his name, from Bliss, the Christmas robot movie. What was that? Christmas, Bloody Christmas.
Yeah, on Shudder.
Oh, there was something else he just did too. I met some friends after I went to a toy show and we went out to dinner and we went and saw that last night. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. And I don't have ADHD, I don't think. And it was a lot. I was very overstimulated after the fact. I think I needed to do the drugs they were doing in the film to deal with it.
The cool thing about the Moviefone experience I just told you about, if you do call 1-802-377-film, you can call back multiple times and expect different messages from Toxie. And if you're trying to figure out where the Toxic Avenger will be showing in your area, call this number and it'll help you find out. What's fun too is there's a little logo to the right of this article, and it's the new Toxic Avenger logo, August 29th, 2025. And at the top, it just simply says, show the fuck up. I love it.
I'll be there.
In related news, all I have is this little blurb to read. I did not dig any deeper, but I saw, this is 4 days ago, posted on Lloyd Kaufman's Facebook page that Trauma Inc. sues New Line for $50 million over project. Low-budget filmmaker Trauma Inc. sued New Line Cinema Corp. for $50 million, charging that New Line reneged on a deal to make a movie based on Trauma's cartoon characters.
Is New Line the one that did the new Toxic Avenger release?
I honestly don't know.
Hell, get him, Lloyd. Get some fucking money and make another movie.
Well, I mean, it sounds to me just like us right now. No, I can't say that. Lloyd's Lloyd. He's not poor. He's not poor like us.
He'd act like he was, though, just to get some money from you.
Yeah, exactly. I love Lloyd. I love Lloyd to death, but we do need some money.
So on this episode of Poor, my Poor segment will be Finley's trip into being a horror movie fan. So last week, we went to Winona, Illinois, and we saw the Maximum Overdrive Goblin Head with Tim Shockey, and we saw the Jeepers Creepers truck.
Creepers, creepers, where'd you get those creepers? Creepers, creepers, where'd you get those eyes?
The guy's name is Troy A. Jackson, and he's the owner of a screen-used Jeepers Creepers truck. He's got a YouTube, an Instagram, and you can email him. It was $20 to buy a coin that's a metal coin that's double-sided. That's the truck. And for that, they were giving the proceeds to charity. You could sit in the front seat of the truck, which Finley didn't want to do. So I was like, let's just take pictures with it and go about our day. An awesome truck. Even if you don't like the film, it's an awesome truck. He's got some information about it. It's the one that was used to see the inside, so he's got all the tools and stuff of the creeper on the inside, and this was all free to go see. And then we checked out the Goblin Head, and Finley got a poster. It was just a fun day, and like I said, it was all free. They were super nice. Yeah, then we hit up Build-A-Bear and dinner and all that. We just had a great trip to go check that out, and she thought they were super cool and took pictures with everything. I think I've shared them on either my social media or the podcast social media, and if not, I'll get them up there eventually.
Yeah, when Tim was up to Haunting in the Hills back in June for the Maximum Overdrive event, he was telling me about this event you're talking about and how he hooks up with these different car owners from movies and stuff. They do different shows, and he kept going back to the Jeepers Creepers guy. Nothing against the other, they display with the Batmobile and stuff like that. But yeah, he kept going to the Jeepers Creepers guys.
And that guy's from South Carolina, I think. So he's super far from home.
Maybe that's why, because I think Tim's in Ohio. That's right.
Still not a short drive, but compared to South Carolina, Ohio's a short trip.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine going down the road and seeing the Jeepers Creepers? I don't know if it's in a trailer or not. The Maximum over the Green Goblin head's in a trailer that Tim has as a museum. But I wonder if the Jeepers Creepers truck is just like strapped to a flatbed and going down or driven. God, that'd be cool. Just driving down the highway and look over and see it.
Coworker told me about the original story that they used to, mirror the opening to Jeepers Creepers on. And I was like, that's cool. And that took place up in your neck of the woods.
Not far from me at all, over by Battle Creek, Coldwater, Michigan. And that schoolhouse, from what I heard, is for sale.
Really? And I saw a YouTube person did a video on it, and it was pretty interesting. It was 20-30 minutes. The other thing that she got was Little Monsters, a Universal Fun in the Tub. Shit, I might get me one of these.
What are those, bath bombs?
No, they're little foam toys.
Oh, I see.
A bath crown and a mesh bag to put them in, but they get wet, and then you could stick them on the side of the bath.
Why is it kids just get to have the fun? Can we have bubble bath fun time with shit like that still?
I mean, it's all the Universal monsters. It's Dracula, it's the Mummy, it's the Creature from Black Lagoon, Wolfman, Frankenstein, the Bride, and the Invisible Man. But I was like, I need to get me one of these. I could put them up on there and draw and make little movies while I take a bubble bath.
Oh, the picture that was just put in everybody's head. Rubber ducky, you're the one.
Well, they got them cool rubber duckies too, that have like the horror theme. I mean, I don't know that they're cool, but they're still a thing.
I've got one on my nightstand next to my bed. It's an eyeball, but it's a duck.
So I'm sure I got movies and tons of other stuff. I just thought that was cool that Finley got a coin and a poster and got to see the Goblin head and the Jeepers Creepers truck, and she got some Universal Monster bat toys. Hopefully she grows up and likes movies, scary movies, when she's an adult.
I think so. There's no way. But she's going to hit that rebellious stage where she doesn't like you and you're the dumbest person ever.
Oh, that was yesterday.
No, I mean like that genuine, I hate my parents kind of rebellion, and she's going to just start watching show tunes or whatever. But the funny thing is you're going to go, ha ha, I love all of that too.
I'll put Rocky Horror Picture Show on and she'll be like, I can't. I do love it.
Moth to a flame.
So what'd you get? Anything?
Haunt investments. And I'm not going to bore you with all the bullshit, but I am going to tell you that I did, on a whim, invest a little bit of money into something I've been wanting for a while, but I can't tell you about it simply because I don't want a bunch of people to copy me, although they could very easily do so, and it's fine. It's just a fun little extra add-on that, if this sounds like a cheap plug and I didn't mean for it to, but it's going to. Here it comes. If you want to see what it is I'm talking about, then you have to show up to Haunting in the Hills Saturday, September 6th for Carnival Metal Fest, because I'll have it out then.
Ooh.
So I dropped a little cash that I normally wouldn't spend and picked up something kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. It's getting to be haunt season, so you're dropping all these.
There is no off season, but no, I know what you mean. It's getting ready to officially be a haunt season.
Kind of like homeowner season. When mowing's done, shoveling starts. When shoveling's done.
But every once in a while, it's time to have everybody over, and it's almost time.
I need to have money for a maid and a lawn person, somebody do laundry, and a chef. Then I could spend all my time content creating and podcasting and all the fun stuff.
Wouldn't that be a dream?
How do you think we get that? Like all that money we need?
I know. Let's take it to a sponsor.
Sick of doing the same old shopping? Discover the magic of Secondhand Smoke in Galesburg, Illinois, located at 10 West Main Street. Secondhand Smoke is your ultimate destination for vintage clothing, unique gifts, and stylish home decor. Whether you're hunting for that perfect retro outfit, a one-of-a-kind present, or something to spruce up your living space, they've got it all. The store is open Tuesday through Saturday, and trust me, every visit is an adventure. Imagine walking through a store filled with treasures just waiting to be discovered. From groovy threads to quirky home decor, there's something for everyone. So what are you waiting for? Swing on by Secondhand Smoke and uncover those hidden gems. Check out Secondhand Smoke on TikTok and Facebook. See you soon in Galesburg. So now that we've heard from our sponsor, it's time for the movie. The 2015 Turkish horror film, Baskin.
We decided that since our last few episodes have been a little on the gateway side, especially our last episode where we covered Scooby-Doo, we would jump back into the darkness. After listening or watching, if you go to his Facebook page, this review from Ricky666
is terrifying nightmare fuel. And if you're a casual horror movie watcher, this movie may have flown under your radar. My name's Ricky. I love horror movies. And this is Baskin. Baskin was released back in 2015 and was directed by Can Evrenol. The movie centers around a squad of Turkish police officers who are called to an abandoned building after a distress call. And what starts off as a routine backup call quickly turns into a pure, nightmarish descent into hell. And I'm not speaking metaphorically. I'm talking literal, flesh-peeling, organs on the floor hell. And it just gets worse the deeper into this labyrinth they travel. So Baskin is famously brutal, right? It's extremely surreal. It's extremely visceral. It's completely unhinged. If you could imagine Hellraiser and Silent Hill as one movie, that's what Baskin is like.
I mean, I think you'd want to watch this movie also.
Now, this is a gateway, right? Because they're found a gateway to hell or a cult that's trying to open it, or...
It's a different gateway for sure, but like you mentioned a little bit leading up to this, it is a Turkish film, so it has subtitles.
Which is fine. One of the few things I don't like about foreign horror films sometimes is I feel like I don't know the mythology or how that culture builds their horror, so I miss certain things, like what did the frogs mean? So I had to look that up.
Yeah, the frogs are kind of a reoccurring theme throughout this film, and I have something similar later on in my notes, but a lot of times with foreign films like this, I think things get lost in translation. The dialogue seems kind of corny or clunky, or certain things they do or don't do, and I'm like, huh? That doesn't make any sense.
So I'll give you a little synopsis. A squad of 5 night shift police officers answers a distress call and unknowingly descend into a surreal, nightmarish realm akin to hell, with cult rituals, grotesque visions, and a reality fractured by violence and fear.
And there seems to be some strong kind of deviant sexual undertones, almost overtones in this movie. Now, it's not graphic in that nature, really. It's not like watching even like softcore porn or anything like that, because Brian's told me what softcore porn is like. I don't know. But it's got some sexual undertones for sure.
Another thing that you don't get a lot of action until the second half of the film.
You know, visually, this film was right up my alley. It had bold, dramatic coloring while being kind of like hazy and atmospheric. But I mean, 35 minutes into the film, and we still had no clue what the fuck was going on. The film was great at building tension, but it took way too long to get to the house, which is where I think the movie started.
It premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival, September 11th in 2015. Like you said, a masterclass in filmmaking, though. Just the shots. It was pitch black the whole damn movie. At one point I stopped and I was like, did I turn the brightness on my TV down? It was still dark as fuck. I couldn't see most of anything, which probably with a smaller budget, you know, it only has a budget of $350,000, which is a super small budget, a micro budget in Turkish horror films. Probably helps. It hides some of the stuff that you, with a lower budget, can't make look great.
And this, in essence, is an indie film. This is almost something that we would normally cover on Indie Spotlight if we chose to, because it was shot in 28 nights. So they shot all this at night. They had no permits. They were basically rogue guerrilla filmmakers, kind of like in the vein of Donald G. Jackson, just going out there and just fucking doing it.
And it's based on a short. Did you happen to watch the short?
I haven't watched the short yet, but I want to.
It's of the same name, 12 minutes long. I think it was 11 minutes and 28 seconds long. So maybe even under 10 minutes with all the credits at the end. The short does some things that I really liked that the film did that I didn't like you said. said, it's 35 minutes before you even get, other than the cops fighting with the kid that's laughing at him at the diner, you don't really get any action.
No, and I think that's where some of it gets lost in translation from it being a foreign film, because I think all of it was, I say 35 minutes and you still don't know what's happening, and it was even longer before you get to the house. But I think what they were doing was getting you invested in the characters and laying out who is who and who are you going to feel sympathy for if something happens to them. But I just couldn't connect with what was really going on.
And by house, they went to a call, distress call. It was at an abandoned police station.
No. It was an abandoned house, but it wasn't a police station. There were just already police on the scene who sent the distress call, I thought, or am I wrong?
No, I thought it was a police station.
They did mention way back in the day it used to be a police station. You're right. I'm sorry.
But they go through the police station. You don't know, are they still in there, or did they transition into a different building, or because they're running? And then it kind of blacks out because it's weird. It's going back and forth between now and the past, or, because he's sitting at one point talking to his boss in the diner that they were in at the beginning, but it's just those two.
That's another part of this film that was lost on me. Jump back to the very beginning real quick. I thought for just a brief moment in the very beginning, it started out a little Silent Night, Deadly Night-ish. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be cool. But it ends up being an A24-ish and a bit on the artsy side horror film. You don't know if it's a dream. You don't know if it's real. You don't know if the flashbacks are legitimate. And then at the end of the whole thing, at the very end of my notes here, I'm wondering, is this a metaphor about overcoming your own demons, or is the movie to be taken literal? I will tell you that there's some more stuff that I think we're both going to talk about, and visually this movie is worth watching, especially if you listen to the Ricky 666 review. You're like, holy shit, I gotta watch this. And I don't think, Brian, that you and I necessarily hate this. It's just not really our go-to or normal, but you gotta watch this and I think kind of make up your own mind of what the fuck it really is.
Yeah, because I don't know what they would have done differently it doesn't need to be longer. It could possibly even be quite a bit shorter.
It could be a little bit shorter for sure.
Unless you add more time in the police station and with the cult.
See, I thought that too, but then I thought if you overstay your welcome there, does all the really nasty shit that you see, does it carry as much of a punch? Or if it overstays its welcome, then is it kind of, you just become numb to it?
And maybe they instead of telling the story sitting at the table with his boss, maybe they show that story of him and his friend spending the day together, and maybe you get a flash of what happened to his parents and how he became part, because the boss took him in as under his wing. His parents die in a car accident. This officer, pretty much the main character in the film, other than the cult leader and the boss. But maybe you get a flash of him dealing with the grief of his parents' death and him going to live with his boss because his uncle didn't want him. So some of that kind of stuff would fill in that 35 minutes at the beginning where not really a lot happens.
Oh, for sure. But then you wonder if it's back to that kind of more indie project of maybe they just didn't have the resources or the funds or the times.
One of the things the short did was it was only 10 minutes long, 12 minutes long. So it went within the first minute to the police station, and then you got all that gross stuff. But one thing the short didn't do was give you an ending. It just ends with them all just standing at the stairs looking out into the open, and the sirens, the lights are going. But then again, did this movie give you an ending?
It's funny because I watched this and right before we were getting ready to record, I was thinking to myself, and I don't remember the ending of this film. I don't remember what happened. And I just watched this like a week ago. Don't tell me, because we don't want to ruin the whole thing for everybody. But
well, we could always get to the end and then we could say, now,
okay,
spoiler, skip the next minute and then you'll be fine.
Brian, you talk about this a lot of times, and I wonder if this is another reason why maybe it seems a little muddled. It was a Turkey-Berlin co-production. So whenever you get two different countries working on a film, things get a little lost in translation. But also it had 6 production companies involved with it. 6 fucking production companies.
So who knows what the director even really wanted to do with this. And it's his debut as a director, so I'm sure they're like, oh, do this. And then he had to listen to everything they told him to do.
Yeah, I'd be curious what their involvement in, like maybe one handled special effects, one handled editing. I don't know how it was all farmed out. But whenever you get that many hands in one pot, things can get muddy.
And not even 2 different countries, 2 different cultures. I mean, Turkey and Berlin, Germany proximity or far away from each other. So that's two different probably ways of thinking, two different mythologies of horror, because they have the frogs were the people in Bearland. Like, what do fucking frogs even have to do with anything?
Which could break down even editing, because editing within itself is an art of storytelling. Well, you and I run into that on the show all the time. You do the majority of the bulk of the editing, and every once in a while, I listen to it and I go, oh, I would have kind of tweaked it this way and that way. I'm going to toss this in. Is that cool? Back to the movie, the actual inside the film. When the first cop gets taken, it was so fucking disturbing. When the first cop gets ripped away from everybody, kind of wanders off on his own, I was like, holy shit, here's the meat and potatoes. Here we go. Because once you get into the house, things get a little Hellraiser. They get a little overrun kind of psych wardish, and they get a whole lot nastier as they go deeper and deeper into this house.
Bondage, kind of like the one people had their eyes stabbed out or cut out and they have blindfolds on, but then there's people that are naked, but they have their heads covered and they have chains around them. There's people cutting people apart and meat for the restaurant they went to at the beginning of the film, is the way I understood it. Good thing they didn't get their food. Yeah, it got real dark, even darker, and really weird. But maybe that's a thing in Turkey. Maybe we're missing out. Maybe that's how they party over there.
Well, it reminded me a lot, too, of once you get towards the end of House of a Thousand Corpses, when you get into Dr. Satan's lair. It reminded me of that minus the camp and with a little dash of kind of Mad Max. Just a slightest little dash of Mad Max. But things get even more visceral and a whole lot more strange when we meet the father character, who I think is Baskin, but I'm not for sure. But he's referred to in the credits as Father.
I don't even know what Baskin, does that mean something in Turkish?
I was up till 3 a.m. before we recorded, and you want me to do research?
The Turkish Baskin relates to raid or onslaught or insurrection. I mean, they got raided, all right.
And we got hit with an onslaught of disturbing imagery, torture gore stuff.
The one guy gets smacked over the head with a sledgehammer. The one guy gets his eyeball stabbed out and is made to have intercourse with this
woman with a decayed goat head on or something,
who then gives birth to a large kidney stone, it sounded like, when it hit the bottom of the pail.
And then the weird Star Wars, it reminded me of Father's little right hand person there. It reminded me of Return of the Jedi from Star Wars. Oh shit, Jabba the Hutt had the weird creature with the thing around its neck. The whole thing was fucking strange.
With the worst haircut ever. He's got one eye covered. What's wrong with that one eye? Yeah, Father has GAPO syndrome. Did you see this?
Yeah, so it was actually Father's acting debut. Mehmet Sarahoglu, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I'm sure the Mehmet part I got right. Had an extremely rare skin condition that made his physical appearance very unique and instrumental to the look of the Father. It reminded me just a little bit of the perverted yellow child murderer in Sin City, minus the comic book aesthetic.
So I looked up what a GAPO syndrome is, and that's the word, the letters in it, it may have like its own pronunciation. It's characterized by growth retardation, alopecia, which is hair loss, optic atrophy, so like his eyes didn't grow properly or they degenerate. So I don't know if that, I would imagine that affects his vision. And I don't even know how to say this other one, but his teeth not coming in. Teeth not erupting. So yeah, he has this odd look about him, but I think that does well with the film. It fits the film.
You would almost see his character once he's revealed and think it's prosthetics or special effects or something. But yeah, I think it adds some realism. And I saw that the director, actually had searched for people with physical deformities to play Father, just to represent that unique, aesthetic. Saw Mehmet and said, "That's it, you're hired." Something else I saw too was that the director claims that Mehmet, who played Father, contributed to many of the artistic decisions for the film's set and for his character, in spite of not having any kind of background in art or acting. So he just kind of apparently brought a lot of all of what we saw to life out of his head, which is scary. I'm not going to his house, Mehmet's house, for dinner. Hell no.
He'd be great at the haunt, though.
Yeah, but I think that'd still be a little scary for me. I don't know.
Yeah, but if you're scared of them, think how your people buying tickets would be. Yeah.
I used to at the Corpse Barn scare people before they would buy tickets, and then they would leave. And then I was like, damn it, I had a good time, but I lost some money.
Yeah, so if you watch the short to this film after or before, you'll notice a lot of the cast, including Mamet, are in the short, are in the feature. So that was very cool to watch the feature film and then go back and watch the short and be like, oh, that's this one, and that's this person, and that's this person's.
You know, something else I thought was interesting is apparently this film was inspired by Hellraiser. There's a couple others that aren't coming to mind, but also Apocalypse Now. And I guess the character of Father, we keep talking about him a lot, he plays a big part, is molded after the character of Colonel Kurtz from Apocalypse Now. And I guess Can had Mamet watch all of these American movies.
So in Turkey, this was made in 2015, and then they were watching Hellraiser probably in 2010. So what, they're about 15 years behind us. They're getting to the 2010s now.
I still want to go to Korea, because remember Korea, 2010, we still had Lucha Underground and some cool stuff happening in TNA, but I still want to go to Korea where it's 1980 something.
Me too. Not Turkey. I mean, it looks like it. What you can see of it, because it's so dark, it looks like a nice place. They got all the frogs there.
What do you think, Brian? Do you think at the end of it all, do you think the movie was a metaphor about overcoming your own demons, or do you think it was something completely different?
It's hard to tell because, like you said, so much gets lost in translation. And the young kid, I don't know that he had demons because he's had so much trauma and death in his life. So maybe it's a metaphor for dealing with trauma and death and grief. Because if we spoil the ending is everybody, including Father, dies. Because he gets the key.
Oh, yeah.
Sticks it in Father's head, and Father falls down, and then he bashes his brains out. But he gets the key to life or survival from the words of his boss, who he pulls it from his neck.
I forgot about that. How could I forget that?
And then he runs outside because he's lost his damn mind. All his coworkers have died, including his father figure, because his parents passed away. And he runs into the road, and he's waving down the police car, and they hit him. So it jumps back to, who did they hit? They couldn't find nobody when they went into the river originally.
I can't believe I forgot that because, I remember when I saw that, I'm like, I was like, this is just a loop. So, okay, I think it is, and not necessarily demons. I'm going to go on record and say I think this is about trauma repeating itself and how hard it is to break from the system of that. So I think it's very much a metaphoric film.
I knew when he went out into the road that was what was going to happen.
Yep, I was like, you can see it coming.
So an ending, but not an ending, because did they really hit him? Was he really there? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, because how was he there and in the car at the same time?
Because this is all in his mind.
I thought it was interesting. I would not tell anybody not to watch this. I think if you're looking for something different and something to push you out of your comfort zone, push boundaries a little bit, just to change up things, definitely give it a watch. It's always fun to watch horror films from other countries.
Oh, for sure.
And get an idea of what's going on there.
Like I said at the beginning of this show, it was time to get back to the dark side. And this movie will definitely take you back, especially once you get to that, I keep saying house, police station, whatever. You're going to be like, what? Don't let the kids out while you're watching that. Like, what the fuck am I watching? Let's rate it. What do you think?
I think I'll give it a 7 out of 10 intestine ropes. He just pulls that guy's intestine, and then he winds it up like he's winding up a extension cord, and then he just throws it off to the side. And then I think all the blind little minions start eating it after that. But I was like, okay, that's gross. That was probably one of the grossest parts. There were so many gross parts. It's like, what was the winner?
I don't pick your poison.
Yeah, 7 out of 10. Definitely worth checking out.
Well, I went 6 levels of hell out of 10 because as they get deeper and deeper, you reach a new level of hell in this place. It's a great stylized visual storytelling. The pacing was okay-ish, besides it taking forever to really pick up any action. The pacing wasn't bad. I think there was a lot of character development that either wasn't needed or I didn't get because it was lost in translation because of it being a foreign film. I think some of it, especially the purpose and dialogue of the police, like I say, got a little lost in translation, but I go 6 out of 10. I might even, bump it up a half point because it does make you think. And at the end of it, when it stopped, I didn't go, I'm never going to do this again.
I think if we were judging like film festival judges, you would say cinematography 9 or 10.
Oh, yeah.
Dialogue 5 or 6, pacing would be 5 or 6. So on pure cinematography, it's an amazing film on how it looks and some of the shots they do. It's great. But yeah, some of the other stuff really drags drags it down.
Yeah, and it was, I saw somewhere that it was compared to Silent Hill, which the first couple of the Silent Hill movies, I love the way all the bright colors and the haze and the fog and the creepiness and the atmosphere. And this movie possesses a lot of that. Brian, you were talking about it being dark. I didn't really think it was that dark until they got in the house. And even then, I thought the darkness kind of served a purpose, because then when you saw what you were supposed to see, it was highlighted and it made it even more icky and gross and scary. And just, this is a disturbing visual movie.
You know who else is disturbing? And if you see them, they're very visual.
Though they're visually disturbing. And
that too.
Yeah. Who's that?
Our podcast network.
Oh, those guys.
Who'd you think I was going to say?
I thought you were talking about Rod again.
No. Well, he's on our podcast network. The PFPN. I think that's their names, right? They haven't changed it, have they?
Not that I know of.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
So now that we've heard from our podcast network, it's time for some recommendations.
This will be interesting. This will be real interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are about to enter the world of darkness. A world where life and death are meaningless, and pain is God. Woo! Hey!
I only have 9 this episode. I mean, I could probably dig up some more. I actually looked on IMDb for Turkish horror films, and Baskin is listed as number 1. And then there's Sissin, Siccin, and there's like several. So like 8 or 9 or 10 of those. And then Dabbe, Dabbe, there's several of those. There is quite a list of Turkish horror films, 50 and 50 more you can go check out. They have films in Turkey that are horror films. But to my list, the first one from 2016, The Void, which I like The Void a lot. I don't know if you've seen this one, but this one was very interesting.
I know of The Void. I don't think I've seen it.
When a small town police officer delivers a wounded man to a nearby abandoned hospital, he and a handful of survivors become trapped by a mysterious rogue cultist and face an otherworldly evil lurking beneath the surface.
Yeah, I don't think I ever caught the ending, but yep, I watched a good half of that movie for sure.
2008, Martyrs. Seen this one?
No.
A young woman tormented by childhood abuse embarks on a bloody quest for revenge, only to uncover a dark and disturbing conspiracy. It's a French, and it's one of those that one of the hardest films to watch. You know, that's kind of what they say about this one. It's on that list. From 2010, a film that I've talked about quite a bit, I Saw the Devil. After his fiancée is murdered by a serial killer, a secret agent embarks on a personal mission of vengeance, one that blurs the lines between justice and monstrosity. That's another film that I freaking love. From 1999, Audition. You know this one?
Rings a bell.
A widower holds fake auditions to find a new wife, but the woman he chooses turns out to be far more than she appears. It's another super slow burn, but if you know this one, it's because there's a scene where she cuts his ankles off with a piano wire, like she saws through his ankles.
Kind of sounds like auditions for Out to Haunting in the Hills.
Yeah.
Auditions that are going on right now, yeah.
And that's from Japan. I think I Saw the Devil is Korean. Martyrs is French. What was the first one? The Void's American. From 2018, Tumbad. It's from India. In colonial era India, a man's obsession with a hidden treasure tied to an ancient, forgotten deity leads him down a cursed path of greed and madness. From 2006, from Hungary, Taxidermy. Spanning 3 generations of grotesque men and post-war Hungary, this surreal trip through gluttony, body modification, and legacy paints a bizarre and often disturbing portrait of obsession and decay. That sounds was fun.
All of these big words.
Yeah, I know.
So dazzling.
Then I got 2 from Turkey. The first one, 2017, Housewife. After witnessing a family tragedy in childhood, a woman's reality unravels when she's drawn into an erotic cult that promises transcendence. Yeah, I don't even know what that would be about. A cult, another cult one. They're all going crazy in these movies. Then the other one, Musalat. A young Turkish man living in Germany is haunted by terrifying visions and seeks spiritual help upon returning home. They're all going insane. And then my last one, another film that I absolutely adore, 2005 from the United Kingdom, The Descent.
Which was an influence on this film, I found.
A group of women exploring an uncharted cave system finds themselves trapped underground and haunted by horrifying creatures. For some odd reason, in 2005, I was living up by Chicago, and I went and seen The Descent in a theater. Probably one of the few people in the United States that saw the film in a theater. I love The Descent. That's another one that's great.
Well, you know, at least with the Cult of Clint, all I want you to do is leave your toys in the box. We don't have to worship deities or have strange sex or, you know, cut each other up. The one recommendation that I wanted to add, and it's a little off the beaten path, sort of, from what we're discussing, but is Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions, which is about a cult. And I'd almost say it'd be a good companion to Baskin. It's not as hyper stylized. It's a little more literal and on the head, but Lord of Illusions is a great film, and it's got some gore to it.
I don't know that I've ever seen that one.
Never seen Lord of Illusions. Well, I know what you're doing after we get done recording.
Watching Lord of Illusions?
Yes.
Oh, well, I have a cult meeting at 2:00, but then I can watch it after that.
If you're watching Lord of Illusions, you get a pass for the day.
Oh, okay, perfect. You know the cult I'm in? I mean, I guess I'm in 2. I'm in this one here in Illinois, and then I'm in the Cult of Clint from Michigan.
Right, yeah. So what's the one that you're in there?
I don't know if they even have a name. We just show up and stand up and say, hi, my name's Brian.
You're not supposed to disclose the name. Great. You know, it's been a while since we've alienated any listeners, and now we just alienated all of our cult listeners. This sucks.
I thought we alienated the non-cult listeners.
What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
What the fuck is going on?
So in my world, I never know what the fuck is going on until after we record usually. And then I'm like, guess what I did? And I did this. And I did this. One thing I'm doing is I'm going to Horror Fiesta in Peoria, Illinois. That's September 13th. You can go to their Facebook page and find information. They got a couple of guests. I'm in a vend. I have 15 totes of fucking physical media that I need to get down to a lot less. I don't know. I'm doing well at my booth in Galesburg, but I'm not doing well enough to sell 15 totes worth of stuff. And other than that, I mean, Finley and I are going to go to a wrestling event in a couple of weeks here locally. There's a bunch of horror conventions coming up. You can go to horrorcons.com and their calendar is just full of conventions. I mean, Milwaukee Horror Con, Scaricon, TerrorCon, Colorado Festival of Horror, Crypticon Minneapolis, the big one, Horror Hound, September 12th through the 14th at the Sharonville Convention Center in Cincinnati, Ohio.
And I am almost certain I will be there.
I don't know the guest list, but I think if you can make it, you need to go.
I've never been to Horror Hound in Cincy. I've only driven through Cincinnati. I always loved Cincinnati, just, you know, from driving through it, looking around at the old world architecture. As far as Horror Hound going to be there, Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden's going to be there. And I don't remember the rest of the guest list, but it's big. Horror Hound in Cincy is always big, and I've never been. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be there at least one day, probably that Saturday or something. I don't know, to check it out.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. That's Horror Hound, so I don't know that the crunch that maybe some other shows are feeling will ever touch them. But I mean, it could. I mean, weirder things have happened. I will make Horror Hound eventually someday. And maybe that's one of those that I wait until Finley's old enough to go to shows to take her. You know, she's getting there. She's close.
From what I always heard about Horror Hound in Cincy was it's extremely packed. But I've heard that since then they've added on, so there's some more room. But again, I've never been there myself, really explain it to you. But like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to swing down there for a day this September.
How far is Cincinnati from you?
Is it 3.5, 4 hours?
Oh, that's not bad. That's what Chicago is for me. So what do you got going on?
Speaking of Cincinnati, I just recently posted on my social media. So by the time you hear this, scroll back. I came across this thing on this Gen X Facebook group where there's a guy, he took WKRP in Cincinnati episodes.
But the senator, while insisting he was not intoxicated, could not explain his nudity.
Baby, if you've ever wondered whatever became of me, I'm living on the air in Cincinnati, WKRP.
And he edited them together with real songs. So you have about a 2-hour show with Dr. Johnny Fever, and then another roughly 2-hour show with Venus Flytrap. So you get the morning show and the evening show. And if you listen to it, it's like you're actually listening to a real radio show. So if you're a fan of WKRP in Cincinnati or just old school radio in general, then check it out. And what's fun about it too, the person who did it edited in real commercials and actual news stories from Les Nessman, the news guy on WKRP in Cincinnati. So it's just something fun to listen to. You're looking to fill your time. You can go to www.awfooey.com/Ohio and scroll around and find it. It's a ton of fun.
So we just planned your day for you. You listen to the I Like It Spooky Horror podcast. You listen to some WKRP in Cincinnati. And then you go and listen to the newest episode or one of the newer episodes of Mad Girl Radio, where DJ Rob talks about Seattle and the music scene from Seattle.
So yeah, we checked it out too while we were working on The Haunt, and it's going to be a 2-parter.
It was actually on Friday. I checked it out. It took up my whole day driving around, getting in and out of the car. Just a great episode.
That episode's like over 2 hours, so it's longer than his normal stuff. Well, before you do all that stuff, don't forget that less than a week after this recording drops, Haunting in the Hills, Carnival Metal Fest, 12 bands, 7203 US 12 in Onstead, Michigan. Tickets are available for pre-sale online. You can get tickets at the door. It's an all-day festival. Did I say 12 bands? 12 bands. There's going to be vendors. There's going to be food trucks. There's going to be some sort of carnival games. I am just hosting. Haunting in the Hills is just hosting. Clown Pit Entertainment is, running this show, but we will be on hand to check out the excitement. It is going to be the first time in a very long time that any musical act has played on the big outdoor amphitheater on the back 40 Haunting in the Hills, which is will now and forever now be known as Stage Fright. So come check out Carnival Metal Fest. Tickets are $30 for 12 bands and all day.
And you got a TikTok now for Haunting the Hills, so you're spreading slowly across the social media landscape.
A little bit. I wish I had more time and I'd get the Instagram rolling. I've had, I'm working on building the website, and I've had that my computer's been on for a week. I just haven't had time to finish it. Could just save it and close it off, but I just leave it on.
You need a media manager.
I need a lot of managers.
Well, what do you think? You ready to go back to hell? It's Sunday. We got to go back to work tomorrow.
I know, and I'm just coming off vacation. I just hope that what happened in Baskin doesn't happen when I go back to work.
Oh, yeah, that'd be weird.
That'd be real fucking weird.
Is that you, John? What the fuck? I thought we were cool. I don't know any of your coworkers' names, but I'm sure there's a John there somewhere.
I don't know any of my coworkers' names. I just put my headphones on and go to work.
Well, good luck, and hope that your week is better than Baskin.
No, not better than the movie, just better than what happened to the characters in the movie.
Yeah, that.
What do you think this is all about? You think this is a fucking costume? This is a way of life.